The Weedsman Podcast. ChristopherMedia.net.
The 82-game preseason is in the books, and it's finally time for the real season. Don't miss out on any of the NBA playoff action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. From the play-in tournament through the finals, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered with same-game parlays, live betting, and more. And if you're new to sports betting, it's super easy to get started. Try betting on something simple, like a team to win. Go to the app, select your team, and place your first bet. It's that simple. And here's something else to sweeten the deal for new customers. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. New customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code IHEART. That's code IHEART to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. 21 and over. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Physically present in Ohio. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.co/bball.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hello, it is Ryan, and we could all use an extra bright spot in our day, couldn't we? Just to make up for things like sitting in traffic, doing the dishes, counting your steps, you know, all the mundane stuff. That is why I'm such a big fan of Chumba Casino. Chumba Casino has all your favorite social casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere with daily bonuses. That should brighten your day a little. Actually, a lot. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com. That's ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18 plus.
Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. From Asthmacore Studios near Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, man.
It's the Weedsman Podcast.
I have no idea what's going on.
And now,
you have smoked yourself retarded.
here are the Weedsmen.
You want to get high?
Welcome to the Weedsman Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Aaron.
We've returned. My bad.
We're back. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Chris had.
I felt ill.
He caught the bug last week.
My theory is I got the virus.
The virus.
Just because how it took me down.
Wait. So what's the difference between the bug and the virus?
The virus.
The virus.
You know,
the COVID virus.
Yes. That one from 4 years ago.
The THEE.
Yes. 4 years ago, we were all prisoners in our houses.
Mm-hmm.
All put on an extra 10 pounds, mostly in liquor. We're all talking about Tiger King. That virus.
Yes.
It had to be, just based on my experience.
But you didn't get tested?
No.
Why not?
Because even if you have insurance, they cost money now.
Yeah.
Shocking! I know this.
And to what end?
Right. Because the CDC changed it like a month ago. The new guidelines are, if you test positive, as soon as you're 24 hours free with the fever, you can go back into the Gen Pop.
Yeah.
So that's like the flu. That's like everything else.
That's like normal operation for anything. You take a day off,
so I was
maybe two, maybe a milk it.
Because I was trying to get the test to see, at some point, just like, what is this? Because it came on swift, and it just took me down.
Yeah. Mine took, I was out for like a good 3-4 days.
I got up for work last Monday. I felt a little tickle in the throat, but, we live in Michigan and it's March, April, nothing, none of us don't experience this time of year. But last half of the day, all of a sudden, just started nosedive. It was one of those things that you felt it come on. All of a sudden you're like, something ain't right here. You inhale and then you exhale and you're like, something just happened.
Same family as the cold virus, right?
Yeah. But slept to my little device here on my wrist from 1 o'clock on Tuesday p.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. on Wednesday. I slept 18 hours.
Oh, nice.
So I don't sleep like that.
I'm kind of jealous when you put it that way.
Even when I get sick, I don't sleep like that.
I couldn't sleep like that if I tried.
Yeah.
I would have to be seriously out of commission.
Yeah, and the only thing I've had that's in recent memory that's made me sleep like that was COVID.
Yeah.
Where it was just like getting up, going to the John. It was like, oh my God, I gotta go back to bed. That was the only other time I ever felt tired, like just sapped all my strength. Wasn't even thinking about going to the gym. Just like, oh my God, just at some point we just wanted to crawl out of your skin.
Yeah.
It was just a bad scene for a couple days.
I've been really good about going to the gym and going almost every day. And I've finally gotten to that spot where like it's part of your routine, right?
Yes.
It feels odd if you don't go.
Yeah.
You know, I have to have like a real reason not to be going to the gym. For me, it's yoga in the morning and gym at night.
I'm coming to terms with the fact I may have to start doing yoga.
Yeah.
I am not flexible at all.
Yeah.
Even after where I'm on like 4 months of like going like working out every day, like, you know, weights 5 days a week and at least cardio the other 2 days. And I still cannot, I can, if Little John asked me to bend over to the front and touch my toes, I can't. I have never been able.
I never have either, and I still can't.
I can get mid-shin. That's as far as I can get.
I can definitely get closer since I've started, but it's not a significant difference.
And there's a push-up that I have to do called a pike push-up, where you're doing a push-up in the downward dog.
Push-up in the, oh yeah, okay. Call it a pike. So you're with your ass in the air?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's for your shoulders.
Okay.
Like now, when I started it, my feet, I was on my tippy toes. That's the best I could do.
Head down, ass up.
Yeah, the best I could get was my feet on my tippy toes. Now I can almost get my feet flat, but still my heels are off the ground.
That was the first thing to really loosen up on me when I started doing yoga, is being able to just have that flexibility in my feet. That's probably the only thing that's really changed, is being able to do those moves and keep your foot flat on the ground.
Yeah, I still can't. Like I said, I've gone from tippy toes to my heels are just off, but still, like, I am not, I've never been flexible. I learned this, like, doing, like, sports as a kid and trying to do all the stretches. And then I learned it doing theater in high school and still trying to do the stretches and still couldn't fucking do them. And watching, like, chicks and dudes being able to, like, put their fucking knees on their forehead.
I can't do that.
You'd have to take me to the hospital if you tried to get me to do that. Like,
they're like, was it Dalsim? Was he the yoga master on Street Fighter?
I don't remember.
The guy who he would stretch his arms out and he would punch you from across the screen.
To be fair,
you weren't big on Street Fighter. Were you more of a Mortal Kombat?
No, but after Street Fighter like 3, they just started throwing in all kinds of crazy. Like, I lost track.
Sure. Yeah, there's. I don't know if they even if Dalsim is one that pops up, or if that.
Like when Gina Grad was like, I was the voice of whoever in Street. I was like, I don't even know who that is, because she's in like Street Fighter 5 or some shit.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think they've probably gotten rid of Dalsim because he's probably a horrible stereotype. So I think he's just supposed to be an Indian dude, but he's like beet red and bald and stretchy. Just wears like a toga or whatever.
There's an elephant somewhere on him.
Probably. I'm working out, trying to eat better, just trying to keep the Grim Reaper away.
Right. I think part of this is me freaking out about turning 45 in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I think this is absolutely connected to that, but I don't care. Like, two people who are not upset about this are my doctor and my lady.
Yeah.
Like, doctor's probably like, I think of Willy Wonka. Stop. No, come back. That's my doctor's reaction.
Yeah.
No, don't exercise every day.
Yeah, I'm on day 3 of but very low sugar and carbs. And
I can tell you 2 months.
No, it's not as rough as I thought it would be so far.
I tell you, couple months into the nutrition thing, fuck this carb thing, just mind the sugar.
That's what I think it's going to end up on.
The 1 week I tried to do no carbs, I wanted to kill myself.
Yeah.
All I wanted to do was sleep. That's where your energy comes from.
Right.
Like, it's sugar.
Yeah, it's the sugar and the added sugar. And I've gotten better about it, but it's still like drinking juices. And even if they're pure juice and no sugar added, it's still packed with that shit.
I've learned it's 10% of the calories that you intake should be from sugar. All sugar. Natural sugars, fake sugars,
Yeah.
real sugars that you just in a gram of sugar is worth 4 calories.
Yeah, okay. That's some math.
But any kind. So fruit, like I eat the fuck out of blueberries.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, you want something that'll get the sweet tooth, and it's fruit, and it's not a lot of sugar. Raspberries.
Oh yeah, I love me some raspberries.
They are surprisingly sweet, and they have low sugar content.
Yep. So that's what I'm going for. I mean, it's I ran into a buddy of mine at a party. I went to this guy that we know was DJing like an after hours thing, and it was kind of fun in the way that like it reminded me of an old school Detroit after hours, because they put out a flyer that was like secret location, right?
Oh.
And I had to message.
Throwing it back.
Yeah, I had to message my buddy who was on the bill.
Oh, did you have to page him?
I had to message him for the address, and it was supposed to, it said like, I think 11 to 6, and there were 4 DJs. One of them was, it was Terrence Dixon, who's like, he's kind of like the father of minimal techno, or like, what most people think of when they think of like German techno. It's just like,
you had 2 records,
sparse,
and that's it.
Yeah, yes. He went ultra minimal. He just played nothing. he had records on, but they were just silence.
Yeah. He never dropped the needle.
And what's his fucking name? Keith Tucker. He's one half of Octave One. That's like a old school, like electro style techno. So these are like big names in Detroit. Not huge. I mean, nobody's big in Detroit, but it would make for a decent party, especially back in the day. These days, I don't know what kids like to listen to. So I showed up. I was like, I wanted to get there early because I knew my buddy was opening up. And I got there at like 11:45, figuring I'd probably already missed half of his set. The lights are still on in the place. They're still setting up the sound.
Okay, boomer, way to show up early.
They're waiting on CDJs to show up. Which, by the way, they then hooked up to the phono input on the mixer.
I mean, sound to sound.
Oh, well, they got it straightened out.
I mean, we've all been there.
Yeah,
hey,
by
the music's going through the speakers, isn't it?
It was like 1:00 almost by the time they got the sound system up and running and the CDJs hooked up. And then my buddy played like...
You're like, listen, I hope there's a bunch of 22-year-olds that are about to show up here in an hour, because...
There were some kids there.
'Cause I got a job. Yeah.
There were some kids there. No, well, it's a Friday night. I knew I was going to be out late.
Okay.
I took a nap.
Oh, yeah.
I took a nap before.
Yes. We're not ashamed. If you're younger than us and you are snickering at that, we are not ashamed.
No, not at all.
No, dude, no. When you gotta... I'm going to Las Vegas at the end of the week. I gotta... Friday, I'm going to wake up at like 3:30 in the morning, East Coast time, and who knows when I'm going to bed. Guess what I'm going to do at some point? I'm going to fucking nap.
Take a nice
long... No shame in nap, young kids.
Yes.
No shame in napping.
So he went on at like almost 1. They didn't get the monitors actually set up until the next DJ was ready to go on. So he had to play his whole set with no monitors, which if you, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, you've got for any stage performer.
How big was the room?
It was a big, it was a decent sized loft that it was in, basically. It was a retail space, but it was the size of a decent loft, yeah.
Was he at least close enough to his speakers where he could at least...
No. He was doing it all with headphones.
Oh, okay. At least he had those.
He had headphones, but trying to mix in the headphones, I don't know. I hate doing that.
I prefer doing that.
Some people like doing that for Beat Match, and I always have to have one ear off to hear my monitors and feel the bass, too. You need bass that's directed at you, because that's the thing. For DJing hard techno like that, or not hard techno, but like any kind of techno like that where it's got that constant beat, the bass is inverted coming to you. It's going out to the crowd, but it's actually... it's later, it's like bouncing off of stuff and shit.
Well, I've been accused of cranking my headphones, so that's never really been an issue for me hearing the beat.
Well, I know he does that too, because I've played with him before, and I was like, "Let me just grab your headphones." Holy shit!
Yeah.
So, anyways, it was just kind of funny how much of a shit show it was getting up and running. Oh, and then within an hour, Keith Tucker goes on after him. This is the guy who does like the electro style. He's playing like booty style. He's playing all his records at like 140 BPM. He's mixing quick.
Come on, baby.
And he just, like, my friend John was like, I was trying to be professional. And Keith just like, fuck it, we're going into the red. And I couldn't stand in front of the speakers anymore. The bass was so loud, it was vibrating me and making me nauseous. I thought I was like, this is the brown note that they talk about. This is how people shit their pants.
Broke assholes. Broke assholes. Broke assholes.
Well, he wasn't, he was playing booty style, but he wasn't playing booty. So there was no fun. There was no fun to it. It was just all like electro and techno, but played really fast and mixed really quick. But he was fun. He was good. And, we actually did get him to turn the bass down a little bit so that it was listenable. But before that, so there was like three
this
shelves
guy's like,
on the wall.
I'll make everybody shit themselves tonight.
For some reason, there was a basketball net. I don't know what you call the whole assembly, but the hoop with the backboard and the net and everything.
It's because you had broken into a school.
Yeah. For some reason, that was in the building, and they put it up on the top shelf. So, like, the net was kind of hanging off the shelf.
Fucking Detroit Public Schools, man.
No, it's not a school. And it was right by where, like, I was hanging out and dancing, right in front of the speaker. And then I walked away from the speaker, and I was like, I can't. It's just too much bass over there. And I was bullshitting with my friends, and then, like 3-4 minutes later, you just hear crash. And I was like, that was that basketball net. Guarantee you. And sure enough, yeah. Actually, I don't know if, like, all three of the shelves came down.
He rattled some shit off some shelves?
Yeah, see, he rattled all three of the shelves off the fucking wall. They were, like, completely off the wall.
I mean, to some DJs, that's like a badge of honor.
Yeah. And then on social media, it was like, this might be our last event at this space. We're looking for a new space to do parties. It's a shame. It was a cool little place. And there were some kids that showed up. There were some old heads like myself, and there were some kids, but I don't know. I left there probably around 3:30, maybe a little closer to 4, and it still didn't fill up. So I think maybe like they maybe got 50 to 60 people through the door.
We live very different lives.
And half of those people guaranteed got in for free.
Right.
At least half.
But yeah, we live very different lives. You leave places when I'm waking up.
Yeah. I still like to go out, man. But, it doesn't change being an old dude. Like, that's what brought up the sugar conversation, because a friend of mine, we were talking while we were waiting for them to set up the party. We were just sitting there bullshitting about like supplements. I'm like, yeah, I'm taking this and that. I'm taking this kind of omega, blah, blah, blah. And then, I told him that I was taking, stuff for eczema and it was really working. He's like, yeah, that's good. But, you really got to get at the source of the inflammation, and that's sugar. He's like, sugar is like one of the major causes of inflammation. And then I started thinking about how asthma is essentially a byproduct of inflammation, and it's inflammation in the lungs, and the mucus that builds up is just because of the inflammation. So I don't know. Man, do I have a sweet tooth? I love cookies and snack. I love snacking on shit at night.
Popcorn.
Well, popcorn's pretty free unless you it depends on what you put on it.
Well, yeah, you got to keep. There's popcorn they sell at the grocery store. That's just get a bag of candy.
Yeah,
like with all the shit.
Oh, you're saying to replace it? You're saying for good things to snack on?
No, I'm saying things, dude. I
thought you were going to tell me what you were missing.
I eat a ton of shit.
Yeah,
but popcorn I snack on. Turkey sausage sticks. That's if you like the savory stuff.
Yep. Yeah, I got myself some jerky. I got some fruit
for the sweet tooth fruit. like for me, what helps me when I want some ice cream, you got them protein shakes.
Oh, yeah.
Pick one. I mean, what sucks is they all have fake sugar in them. They all got something that ends in ose.
Right. It really stands out in the sodas and juices and stuff like that. In the shakes, I think the chocolatey flavorness of it tends to bury that like chemical taste.
There is one brand of shake that when I'm out of the ones that I got now, it's called OWYN.
Oh, yeah?
They straight up go, no, there's some sugar in here, but very little.
Okay.
Like, I'll at least do that, right? Like, it's
that might
and
look
it's like
into that.
the last thing on the ingredient list.
Right. Yeah, because I've just, like, I tried to cut out as much as I could right away, just because I know that I'm not the type of guy who can chip away at something.
Because even with the fake sugar,
I gotta go. I'm more cold turkey. That tends to work more for me with habits.
with the fake sugar, your taste buds and your body still think it's sugar. So that's why it says it doesn't even matter with the fake sugar.
Yeah, it's just tricking your body.
Yeah. So that's why, like I said, with that one, I'll at least, hey, there's a little bit of sugar in here. Fine. Good.
But
It's at least sugar. It's natural.
The carbs aren't going away forever. Like, I love myself tacos and
There's good carbs and bad carbs.
yeah.
I've learned a potato is like a medium carb. So I've welcomed them back into the fold.
Yeah.
No, the bad carbs are anything that gives you a high or a low. Like sugar.
That's another thing that I'm trying to get rid of. Yeah, those sugar spikes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, they tell you if you're going to, like, I ate a lot of brown rice. I ate a lot of fucking blueberries.
A lot of brown rice, huh?
Yeah.
I imagine most pastas probably fit in the bad carb side, or does it just depend? Like, what type of pasta?
Yeah, well, it's anything. Bad carb is white and refined, i.e., sugar, flour.
Okay.
Insert your rich white people jokes there.
R.I.P. John Sinclair. Speaking of getting old, he made it to 82, and he passed away the other day.
Good. Does this mean they'll finally stop doing the hash bash?
That's good.
Well, no, I'm just saying that means. Yeah, I hear it, and I'm sorry, John Sinclair. I mean, does this mean they'll finally stop doing the hash bash?
Why would they stop?
Because it's over, right? Wasn't it like you won?
Well, he's been free. He's been out of jail.
But I mean, just like
I know
it's been legal for 6 years.
Oh well, yeah.
Like what?
Well, that's presuming that the hash bash was anything other than just
when we were
a reason
younger,
to hang out.
We were led to believe that part of the spirit of the hash bash was a little bit of activism for reforming the marijuana laws. Am I wrong?
No, you are not wrong, sir.
No,
but now,
since 2018.
But now now that it's legal, you can sell advertising. So why would it go anywhere?
Well, now since 2018 in Michigan, it's just an excuse to get. Hey, we're going to go to Ann Arbor and get high all day. Cool. I mean, that's what you did anyways before, but there was at least kind of a point to it.
Yeah. This is a quote from Sinclair from 1969, if you want to hear him at his height. The pig death machine is anti-life by definition. The pig death machine. I don't know what he means exactly by that, but you can imagine. Our culture is a revolutionary culture, a revolutionary force on the planet, the seed of a new order that will come to flower with the disintegration and collapse of the obsolete social and economic forms which persistently infest the earth.
Here you go, kids. Me at 25, yeah. Me at 45, hippie bullshit.
Yeah,
like that's what this is. It's all hippie bullshit.
Like you're not wrong, sir. It's just rhetoric.
Yeah. But yeah, 25, I'd be like, yeah, everything he's saying, yeah. So yeah, I guess count me as jaded, kids. I'm just another jaded stoner.
He served 2 years in prison for giving an undercover cop 2 joints.
But didn't he
2 for 2?
But didn't he get out because it was entrapment?
No, wasn't it 20 for 2? He initially, I think he served 2 years.
10 for 2.
It was 10 for 2. That's what it was. Yeah.
But
the initial sentence was 10, and the public pressure got him out in 2.
Well, yeah, because wasn't it entrapment when it came out?
I mean, it was. I don't know if that was ever. Like, was his case actually overturned based on entrapment?
I think that's how we got out of jail. They found it was kind of entrapment. I think this is all rampant and wild speculation on my part, but I believe I've heard the story enough. I believe that's how he didn't serve 10 years. Is they found some iffiness in how he got convicted.
Yeah, the Free Press just says that they talk about John Lennon, who came to Ann Arbor to lend support to the powerful, quote, Free John Now movement that ultimately succeeded in springing Sinclair from behind bars. So they're giving all credit to the pressure from the movement.
Which, by the way,
also manager of the MC5.
Can we admit Lennon phoned in that fucking John Sinclair song? That na 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 na, like that's somebody else's song.
Yeah, but I think he was doing it in the tradition of folk protest song. You know, take an old song, redo the lyrics, keep it simple. I mean, he was doing. He's like doing Arlo Guthrie.
We'll say, in that Particle Man.
Yes, that's it.
Well, no, but that means it's all ripping. Fuck, what song? That means it's all ripping off one song, right?
I think they're all ripping off in the summertime when the sun da 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 da.
Well, yeah, it's some rag cannon. I'm thinking some ragtime.
Yeah, probably.
Or something.
Yeah, and all this, man. You got to check out 500. What is it? The rock and roll history of rock and roll in 500 songs. That's what it is. Because this guy goes deep on this shit, and he doesn't just explore one song. Like he lays out where it comes from. Like it started, like this guy did this song and this guy did a response to it and this woman did a cover of that and that ended up having the lyrics change and now it's this song.
By the way, TLDR, the laws changed while Sinclair was in prison.
Oh yeah?
The marijuana laws changed while he was in prison.
Really?
Yeah.
In
Michigan. The Michigan legislature changed the marijuana laws and what he was in jail. It was kind of like how they did expungement when they legalized weed. It was kind of one of those deals. Like, oh, you wouldn't be in jail for this now. You can go now.
Yeah, probably just another, reevaluation of like, it really just comes down to weights and measures, like it used to be what like any way you packaged cocaine, it was just however many you had, that was how many years you got or whatever. And then crack came out and they're like, nope, that's apparently way more dangerous. So then, if you got caught with crack per weight, it would get you more years. They go back and revamp those every now and then. Another unfortunate death this one is way too soon. Ed Piskor was only 41 years old when he took his own life. Now, I know you probably don't know who that is, but he was he's a comic book artist who is probably one of the most famous. I don't want to say that to call him independent isn't really accurate because he did do work for Marvel, but most of his stuff was self-published. But he kind of an outsider comics artist, like not a traditional, spandex and superheroes type of thing. Actually, he's got a Red Room series that's really graphic. It's all about the dark web and people like basically the modern version of what would they call them? Like the execution tapes. The video of somebody being killed, being sold illegally. There's a term for it.
Snuff film?
A snuff film. Yes, thank you. That was exactly the term I was thinking of. So there's a modern take on like snuff film going to the internet, and it was really graphic. He also did, like, one of the things that he was most famous for, though, is the Hip Hop Family Tree, which is a fantastic collection that I would really recommend. And he lays out the history of hip hop all in comic form.
All right, where does it start?
It starts.
I've learned the last 5-10 years, this is a very debatable. I thought it was cut and dry. I've learned this is very debatable. Where does he have it starting?
On the streets of Brooklyn.
When?
Street parties. Late 70s.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Grandmaster Flash and shit.
All right.
Block parties.
Okay, lines up with what I've always...
Yeah. Why would somebody say... I mean, look, when you talk about music, again, this is like the Rock and Roll in 500 Songs or whatever, the podcast. Like, you can keep going back. He talks a lot about the delineations that he has to make of, like, what he's going to consider the first rock and roll song. But you can keep going back and back and back and trace the roots of any kind of music. I mean, it's just like DNA, you know, you trace it all the way back to Genghis Khan. Now I'm curious though, who's making an argument?
Their initials are RS. They're a magazine we used to like.
Robert Smith?
And now we don't.
So Rolling Stone is saying,
oh, I've heard people try to push rap into like the fucking late 60s.
yeah. Oh, like Gil Scott Heron?
Yeah.
Like, you know that? Like, Rat Done Bit My Sister Nell?
Yeah. Whitey's on the moon.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. That's definitely part of it. But are you going to call Gil Scott Heron the godfather of rap? Come on.
Dude, I've heard people try to make an argument, and I know we both have feelings on this artist and this. I've heard people try to make a fucking argument for Lou Reed.
Yeah, no. What?
Yeah.
Look, there's stuff going all the way back to like the 30s and 40s that you could say, that you could listen to and go, oh, I see, I see the start of like, yeah.
Well, yeah, any blues guy who just plays a riff and then says something in a rhythmic pattern, you could argue that's rap.
Yep. So, but yeah, anyway, so got off course. Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to talk about Ed Piskor because this is a really unfortunate story. He was one more credit I'm going to talk about. Him and another artist, kind of a, independent comic artist, started a YouTube channel called Cartoonist Kayfabe, term that refers to wrestling. Like, it's basically a term for fake in wrestling. Mm-hmm. You're kayfabing it. You're not actually hitting the guy or whatever. And had a lot of success with it. They would look at stuff that had inspired them, new collections. They would look at, comics from all over the world, manga and French books and all that kind of stuff. They did interviews with like classic creators like Mike Mignola, the creator of Hellboy, Eastman and Laird from the Ninja Turtles. Most of their stuff, they were more concerned about more of the independent artists than talking to the guys who worked on Batman and X-Men and shit like that. And, they actually, with that YouTube channel, helped, widen the audience of a lot of, other underground artists and maybe even artists that have passed that people had forgotten about. Mm-hmm. And then, so about 2 weeks ago, I don't even think it was 2 weeks ago, there was a woman who had posted on X about her encounters with Ed Piskor and how this guy, maybe went too far. It's all very vague about like, he was saying stuff that could be taken as like this or that. Hey, if you're in town, you should just shack up at my place. You can, shit like that. Like nothing definitive, no like direct accusation. He abused me. He raped me. He did anything. It's just, this guy's a creep. And, the social media machine went into action, and anybody who was, affiliated with Ed Piskor, including his YouTube partner, Jim Rugg, I don't want to place intention on somebody, but they just feel like they have to distance themselves from this person for their own sake, right? This is a person whose whole career, independent artist, right?
Yeah, because the mob will come for you if you don't agree with them.
Right. And, so Jim Rugg he said publicly after a few days went by, he's like, I have to, separate, my public relationship with this man, and we're not going to be doing the YouTube thing anymore. And it was just looking really, really grim for him. This was like days before an exhibition was supposed to open up in Japan that was featuring all of the original artwork, not all, I should say, but most of the original artwork from his Hip Hop Family Tree collection. It was going to be up in a fucking museum, and that got canceled as soon as this news came out. And yeah, he took his own life. He committed suicide, and he even posted his suicide note up on social media and made no bones about why he felt he was in that position. Now, I mean, obviously, when you're talking about things like suicide, there's
There's something else going on.
There's something else going on. Yeah.
This was just
This was the trigger.
Yeah.
Right.
Dude, I'm telling you.
But what a trigger. Can you imagine? I mean, like,
I'm of the mind, I'm telling you, the last couple of years, I'm of the mind, they're going to find out social media is, like, worse for us than cigarettes.
yeah.
Like, once the long-term, like, once they've studied the long-term like, first of all, anyone who has a daughter the last decade, hats off to you.
Yeah.
And save up for therapy.
Yes.
Because they're going to need it at some point.
They're already in it.
Yeah, like,
way ahead of you, buddy.
Yeah, like, and I guess too, it's just because like I kind of tapped out personally for me. Like, you see my Facebook page. I keep it light. It's like music and football and like,
yeah.
You know, I tapped out of doing anything else. You know, posting anything that can stir anybody up, or going in there. I don't read comment sections. I don't participate in any of that shit anymore.
Yeah,
and just like just watching what it's doing to people, like, they're going to find out this shit is one of the worst things they've ever invented. Like, it's I want to be clear. It's not about the internet. It's about social media. Like, social media is terrible for us.
Yeah.
And I just think that more and more we keep...
Well, I mean, on top of, like, suicide rates are up, but, like, self-harm is skyrocketing, too. Instances of, you know, cutting, eating disorders... All this shit is, and like, this is correlation. I'm not a scientist. I don't know that anybody has actually, you know, put in the work to tie it directly together. But no, we are humans and we can see trends.
Oh, I've read enough articles about how many studies there that it is fucking up preteen and teenage girls. Something serious.
Yeah, I was just saying, my spurious claims of, you know, linking, you know, and I know not just suicide, but self-harm and eating disorders to social media.
And I'm a heretic right now because everybody's doing it. Oh, everybody's got this and this and that. Or, oh, what am I? My kid's going to go to school and be the only kid without. So, remember, in the fucking 50s, doctors were telling you should smoke.
Yeah.
Doctors were giving, hey, pregnant woman, here, have a pack of Winstons. All right.
Or they were at least telling you that it was fine if you did.
Yeah. By the 90s, they were like, whoa, hey, cigarettes, not great for us. We got proof. And I feel in like 10, 20 years, because we're already Twitter's going to be 20 years old here in 2 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Facebook to the public is going to be 20 years old here in 4 years. Damn. So like, yeah, in 10, 20 years, we might find out some shit about, whoa, social media turns out, you know, fill in the blank.
Yeah, I only wish that Ed Piskor was more widely known, not only because I think he deserves to be as a great artist, but because at least something maybe good could come out of the suicide. And, you know, I frankly, I find it kind of confusing. It's been, well, I guess it's only been a day, but like, people are reporting on his death, but they're not, nobody's doing a story on like, look what you're doing type of story.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm trying to blame it. And I don't even blame the one person with the accusation for his suicide.
I just, like, on any issue, like,
I think that she should have the freedom to speak her, you know, her quote unquote truth without fear of repercussion. But, you know, we should also, I don't know what we should do. I don't know what we should do. But the piling on has to fucking stop.
There has to be consequences for actions. And unfortunately, in that space, it means regulation. Like, you can't, the things that you can get away with.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
The things that you get away with on social media, you can't get away with in traditional media. There's laws against it.
Why couldn't Diddy off himself?
Like, you can't get on the television airwaves or the radio waves, what's left of either of them, and start shouting slanderous, like, you know, incorrect shit or shit that's just meant to harm somebody that isn't true. Like, there's legal repercussions for that. If there was legal repercussions for this shit on social media, this behavior would stop. Or at least would
I hear what you're saying. But it's like, if she said, regardless of where she says it, right, if she made an accusation of like this person raped me or this person abused me in some way, then that is an actual thing that you can try and find a person guilty or innocent of, and it's probably not ideal, but, there is still civil court if you want to, actually punish that person for their false accusations if they turn out to be such. But so much of the piling on.
Civil court. For when you're pretty sure.
But, in cases like this, it's not even like a direct accusation, right? It's
character assassination.
Yeah, it's just personal.
It's shit you can't do in a newspaper or on the radio or on TV.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. You couldn't just, I don't know. Like, you could publish a story.
I'll put an asterisk. Unless you're running for office. But still, even when they do that, the stuff they say has to be founded in truth.
I don't know. I mean, like, character assassination is totally legal, though. There's nothing.
No, but like politicians, when the claims that they make still have to be founded in truth. They can't say like somebody voted on a bill a different way that they didn't. They can't be like,
no,
Bob Smith voted no on keeping your grandmother alive, when you can go back and find out that he clearly voted yes because it's public record.
Yeah.
The Weedsman Podcast.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Step into the world of power, loyalty, and luck.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
With family, cannolis, and spins mean everything.
Now, you wanna get mixed up in the family business.
Introducing The Godfather at ChumbaCasino.com. Test your luck in the shadowy world of The Godfather slot.
Someday, I will call upon you to do a service for me.
Play The Godfather now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Welcome to the family.
VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Coincidence? I think not. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere, even at 30,000 feet. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
The 82-game preseason is in the books, and it's finally time for the real season. Don't miss out on any of the NBA playoff action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. From the play-in tournament through the finals, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered with same-game parlays, live betting, and more. And if you're new to sports betting, it's super easy to get started. Try betting on something simple, like a team to win. Go to the app, select your team, and place your first bet. It's that simple. And here's something else to sweeten the deal for new customers. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. New customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code IHEART. That's code IHEART to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. 21 and over. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Physically present in Ohio. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.co/bball.
If you've been hurt by a truck, you can call Colombo Law 24/7 and we'll be there to make sure you're taken care of. When someone is hurt by a truck, Colombo Law is the law firm people call to get answers. Hurt by a truck? Call Colombo Law.
ChristopherMedia.net.
The Weedsman Podcast.
Well, I mean, I think P. Diddy's, I think his Twitter followers are down from before the accusation, but right after, his followers actually went up. People started following him. Most likely to just say, like, what's he going to say about it?
Mm-hmm. Well, if P. Diddy has the money for the kind of lawyers I think P. Diddy has,
yeah,
the answer should be nothing. You say absolutely nothing. But no, he's up on Easter Sunday posting pictures with his 1-year-old daughter. Which also, by the way, man, I thought Diddy was in better shape.
He's not looking great?
Did you see him in the Miami balcony pictures?
No.
No shirt on, having a cigarette?
Oh, really?
Did he need to hit the electrical?
Oh. They caught him in they caught him on an Affleck moment.
Yeah.
Standing outside having a smoke.
But yeah, for a guy who claims to have started as a dancer. Well, not claims. There is footage. He was a dancer in videos.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, maybe
I saw it.
We do some hip hop cardio.
Went to the movies and saw a preview for whatever they're calling the latest Bad Boys installment, which looks,
Bad Boys 75.
Which, well, no, they're not going to call out his age like that.
Is this their retirement party?
Yeah.
Bad Boys, the retirement party.
No, actually, I went with my daughter, and she was like, how old is Will Smith? Because he's, like, been in movies forever, hasn't he? And I was like, yeah, but he did start really young.
It's true.
And I didn't look it up, but I was like, I think he's probably maybe only like 4 or 5 years older than me.
Parents just don't understand. He was 16.
Okay.
When that song came out.
I think I was 14. I was like 13 or 14 when that song came out. So he's just a little bit older than me.
Yeah.
But yeah, she commented, he's like, and he's still looking great. Like, and he does. He looks great. Martin Lawrence.
Hey Siri, how old is Will Smith?
Martin Lawrence looks like he stuck his head into a beehive and with a tongue coated in honey.
Martin Lawrence looks like somebody's granddad. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw
his
him.
head swelled up.
Yeah, he now looks, well, he's the age for it, but he looks like somebody's granddad now. Will Smith, 55 years old.
55. Oh, really? That's older than I thought.
He's going to be 56 in September.
Really? That makes him 7 years older than me.
Damn, the fucking Karate Kid's 25 years old now.
Was I 9 when that song came out? Seems like I was older than that.
That song came out in 88.
I don't know that I was listening to music at 9.
How old are you in 1988?
13. 12? 13. How do numbers work?
Maybe Will Smith was 18. I know he was something.
I think he was.
He's born in 68.
I said he was 18 when it came out.
So he was 18 when it came out.
Okay.
Still, does not shit on your point that he started young. It's just 2 more years.
Yeah, he did start really young, but he's also, he doesn't look all that different from when he was 18 years old.
Wait,
he's not as skinny, but he never had that fucking. He never got to the point like.
Martin Lawrence is 58.
Yeah.
He should look like somebody's granddad.
Yeah. He's got a big old head, that's all I'm saying. He doesn't look that old. You just know he's old because his head's so fucking big.
Here's something. I realized this a few weeks ago, kind of on the subject. Not really. A little aside here really quick. I mean, it's kind of a loaded. You'll know the answer right away because of the way I'm asking the question. Who's the oldest person in this picture?
We're looking at
Christy Brinkley and Jim O'Heir.
Oh, that's Christy Brinkley. Christy
better
Brinkley's
known
definitely
as
older, right?
Yeah, better known as Jerry and Gail Gergich from Parks and Recreation. Yeah, she's older than him.
Yeah,
I did not realize this till recently.
Yeah, but he also just
he looks 20 years older than he is.
Yeah, he was probably born looking like a middle-aged man.
Yeah,
he came out with a part in his hair.
No, one of those
creamed
Who
down.
did I realize the other day? He's been playing like middle-aged guy for 30 years, and he looks the same fucking age. Oh, but he's been doing it since he was
Steve
like
Buscemi?
30. He falls in one of those categories. But,
yeah,
but no, it's somebody the other day. I was like, oh yeah,
Paul Giamatti.
No, he's clearly aged. He looks like an old man now.
He does now, yeah.
God, I can't think of it. But he's still playing middle-aged characters, and I realized, whoa, he's been doing this since the 90s, and he still kind of looks the same. Whatever. It's some character actor.
Oh, who else? God, you said character. Oh shit. What's his name? I can't believe I'm blanking on his name. He passed away like a week ago or more at like 80 something, maybe even older. He was up there. Character actor that was he was the shooter in The Jerk. Remember The Jerk?
He hates these cans.
Yes, that guy. Die, Milkface.
Yeah.
Or also the guy who works in the shop in Raising Arizona. And he says,
I know
not
who
that
he is.
mother scratcher. Bill Parker.
I'm trying to think of.
He was in Blood Simple. He's in a lot of stuff. He was in like big movies.
No, he plays the same character, the gruff old guy.
Yeah, kind of talks usually with that like high southern drawl.
Might be shooting something at you, might not.
I don't even know how to look them up, though. Like, I can't look up either of those roles.
Just Google, he hates these cans.
Who hates these cans?
I bet you can type that. Who hates these cans? First thing it brings up is...
Die, gas pumper. That was the other line. Say your prayers, half-breed.
Hey, Harry. Look at this. What's the matter with these cans? Die in the face! These cans are defective. They're springing leaks. Come over here and look at this. Listen, you better run for cover. You're going to spring a leak. Huh?
Jackie Mason?
We don't have defective cans. We have a defective function out there. He hates these cans. Stay away from the cans.
I don't know why that... Why is that so funny?
It's all in the delivery. Nobody...
That is so dumb. Empirically, that is so dumb.
Nobody else could deliver that line. I guarantee you there's not another comic out there. Not that they're not as funny as him, but like there's a very specific comedy that like he was perfect at.
I think I think that is a lesson in delivery. Yes, if you
nobody else would do it such earnestness too.
Somebody that would have been thrown out by anybody else.
Yeah.
Like, this is stupid.
Like Tom Hanks could maybe deliver that line and make it believable, but you just believe he was dumb. It wouldn't be funny.
Yeah. Well, I just mean in general, like like the gag itself. Like what did 2 5-year-olds write this? Get this out of here. Yeah. Like it's like on its surface, it is such a dumb joke.
Especially his early comedy. That was his genius, was being able to, there was a lot of it in the absurd. There was a lot of it in, singing funny songs and stuff like that. But my favorite parts were the dumbest jokes that most people would have just left. Like, no, that's too dumb. And he finds a way to no, it's all in the delivery. There's no joke too dumb. A joke's a joke. You just gotta present it right.
I mean, there's definitely a Letterman quality to in this ashtray.
Yeah.
And this, what is it? Just keeps grabbing all this stuff.
Yeah, I don't need anything just but this lamp.
Like that, yeah.
I'm gonna need this,
yeah. And these snow tires. They just keep beating the joke into the ground.
Yeah.
And when you think it's done, he's like, and this.
Yep.
And that's all.
We need absurd comedies. Again, please. I hope that this Sasquatch movie is good because that's an absurd movie. Are you aware of this?
No.
Oh, you don't know? Oh, look it up. There's a preview for it. I can't. I'm going. If I try and describe it, I'm just going to be sitting here saying nonsense for 20 minutes, trying to get you to understand the tone of this movie.
Sasquatch Sunset?
Yes.
Should we watch the official Red Band trailer?
Yeah, why not? See some Sasquatches humping. But yeah, I was watching. Steve Martin also he's in the tradition of the Marx Brothers to me. That was I watched, Laurel and Hardy reruns and Three Stooges reruns back in the day. But when a Marx Brothers movie popped up, that was a special treat because those guys were fucking hilarious. I spent easily a half hour.
What's going on?
Some Yetis are fucking there. Right?
Yes.
If I remember correctly. I can't see the screen, but I saw the preview the other day.
Wait. These people are... what? They're actually playing?
Yeah. So they're just doing... There are a bunch of Sasquatches hanging out. Sasquatchy.
And they're not going to talk? They're just acting like Sasquatches?
They don't know English. They're full on 10,000 BC in this shit. I
don't know about this.
I don't know either. I'm just saying it's absurd, and I hope it's funny, and that it goes over well, and people get back to making absurd comedies. Yeah, I watched a half hour of just all the instrumental parts from the Marx Brothers movies. So it's mostly Chico and Harpo that are the piano players.
Aren't there 2 Queen albums named after Marx Brothers movies?
Yep.
A Night at the Opera and A Day at the Races.
Yep. They're 2 best. I mean, like if you like comedy and you haven't seen those 2 movies, the other ones are all right.
I was more of an Abbott Costello guy. Abbott Costello, Three Stooges guy. To me, the Marx Brothers was like, whoa, that's like shit my grandpa watched.
I think it's at the end of, it's either A Night at the Opera or A Day at the Races. There's a scene where Harpo's playing the piano and he's playing some really bombastic classical piece like a Beethoven or something. And he's banging on the piano so hard that it starts to come apart. Like first the lid falls off and then like the sides are falling off. And finally, like he just beats the piano until it's nothing but just the frame with the strings on it. And then he props it up and plays it like a harp and does this like beautiful harp solo on it.
Does either one of those movies have, last night I shot an elephant in my pajamas? How I got my pajamas, I'll never know.
Might be in one of those, I think. They said, I think it's Night at the Opera, and Chico is the entertainment, and he's playing piano, and everyone's kind of seated around him, and Groucho's one of them, and he's playing this little ditty, and it just keeps looping back around, right? It just keeps repeating over and over. He's playing the A phrase, and then the B phrase, and then the A, and the B, then the A, then the B, then the A, then the B, and then finally Groucho's like, if you come near a song, go with it. And Chico says, I think I forgot how to end it. And he can't think of the end of the song, so he keeps playing it over and over again.
Simpler times.
It's not simpler times. It's good comedy that stands up. Well, I mean, so some of the jokes are like corny, yes. But what really holds up, I think, and would hold up for modern audiences is the slapstick stuff, and that's most of it. I went and saw I can't even remember what they called the movie. The Godzilla and Kong BFF movie. Godzilla Kong Baywatch.
Godzilla and Kong buttfuck.
Yeah, we weren't alone, man. Everybody came out to see this fucking movie. It made $80,000 in its opening weekend. So any
80,000?
80,000. Yes, 80,000.
That's a failure.
Yes. $80 million on Easter weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, so any cries that, like, this is kaiju movies jumping the shark and that this is the end? No, clearly not. This movie was ludicrous and people loved it, including myself and my daughter. It was a very entertaining movie. First of all, what was noticeable about this movie that is, as you can imagine, very heavily CGI'd. I mean, it's got to be more CGI than not. And most of it takes place in broad fucking daylight.
I mean, there isn't a real giant lizard that they used and a real giant monkey.
Yeah. And most of the action, most of what you see, all this computer rendering, it all takes place in bright fucking daylight in neon colors. It's not like watching a Transformers or like the end of a Marvel movie where like they have to have their big CGI fight and it happens on a rainy tarmac in the middle of the night when the power has gone off.
Right. Not these guys, wide open daylight. Like,
yeah.
Listen,
they were like,
Godzilla and Kong got a bedtime. We're going to do our marauding during the day.
They were out in the day ripping apart giant snakes and letting their fucking neon colored bug guts spill all over the place.
Listen, Kong is like 112 years old. Godzilla's pushing 70, all right? We got to get to bed early.
Kong was definitely looking up there. He was looking a little haggard.
I'm saying, weren't the first King Kong movies in like the 1920s?
Well, I mean, it's been rebooted since then.
I'm saying. He's an old man.
To, I think it was like Vietnam era is when they discovered Kong on Skull Island. Or was it maybe it was just after?
He had on the headband. He's listening to Creedence.
Yeah. Kong's hanging off the side of a helicopter with a machine gun and a joint in his mouth.
Yeah.
While All Along the Watchtower plays. Now, have you seen Skull Island?
I have not.
That's actually, it's good. I think if you're going to watch any of them, that's the one to watch, because it does have scenes like that. It has like Vietnam type of shit going.
About that one is Adam Carolla loved screaming the title of that movie.
Yeah.
The full title of that movie. Kong, Skull Island.
Well, yeah, it does, has the cadence and the weight of something that you just can't say quietly. Yeah, it was, the Kong part of the story was definitely the strongest. King Kong himself had the most cohesive story out of any of them. He was the last of his kind. He was bored and depressed, you know. He didn't have anybody to hang out with. He had no mate. And hats off to the makers of this movie. I guess we can fully spoil it now because I'm sure it's all out there. But they managed to keep a lot out of the previews, because there's like a whole underground civilization of giant apes that they find, along with other things. Like there's like a people that were native to the island that Kong comes from. The titular Skull Island. And there's a whole race of those people living in the Hollow Earth, which, by the way, if you haven't been paying attention to the recent Godzilla and Kong movies, the Earth is hollow on the inside. That's where all these monsters live.
Ah, well, that explains earthquakes.
Yeah, it's just when they're having their bowling tournaments.
Yeah, they're training. They're fighting each other.
But yeah, also, there was monsters in here that they didn't give away. Mothra. Motherfucking Mothra was in this movie, and they didn't tell us.
That's right, bitch.
Thank you. Thank you very much, because I actually was able to go into a movie, have, references to Mothra laid out early on, and I don't even think they directly name dropped him. They were just like talking about him, like, ooh, that's Mothra. Whereas most movies these days, they're not, especially by the time they get their third preview out, they've shown you nearly everything.
Like, listen, please come to see this movie. Here's all the good stuff.
Yes, here we are naked. Come see this if you want to see us bend over and show you the inside of our buttholes, because that's all that we have left.
Yeah.
We've shown you everything else in the previews just to get you into the fucking
all
theater.
We got left is you got to go inside. Yeah. That's all we got left to show you.
Yeah, it's like the girls who get naked on X, and I'm like, so I should subscribe to your OnlyFans so I can see what? Like
me not fucking you?
So I get to go to the doctor with you and get to see your get the endoscope camera view.
Right.
How much more do I, at a certain point it does become abstract.
Yes.
I know that there's definitely, by the tabs on Pornhub, close up is definitely a preference for some. I've personally never gotten it. Like, if you're not looking at the whole package, what are you doing?
Yeah, what's going on there?
First of all, that could be anybody's pussy.
Yeah. Let's start there.
You ever seen your mom's?
You might have. If you're into close-up. You don't know how moms make money nowadays.
Yeah, so you should be seeing face, not only because it adds to the whole, fantasy, but also to make sure that you don't know this person. It was also relatively short for a movie of its type. 2 hours. I mean, my only complaint really is that it feels rushed to the point where, and they maybe didn't have to pare it down so much, but there's some classic rock needle drops in this movie that are really good, actually. And they don't ever get to the chorus of any of them. My daughter was commenting on this too. She was like, they're playing great songs. And I was like, oh yeah, we get to see, a monster fight to this song. It'd be great. And they just cut out.
Hey, maybe the hook costs more. Maybe the verse is one price and the hook is another.
It could be. That very well could be. I don't know. But it was Dan Stevens plays a guy who's kind of a cowboy veterinarian, and he's got scenes where he's the one, the needle drops are always tied to him coming into the scene because he's blasting it from his ship. when he's doing whatever he's doing. But yeah, he'll fly in to, you know, the intro of a BTO song and then like, okay, I'm done. And then back to Monsters.
Hey, maybe, you know, a certain amount you can burn down the gambling house, but there's no fire in the sky unless you pony up for the rest.
Right. Yeah, you don't get to hear the whole story. You're like, okay, you went to a Frank Zappa concert and what?
Yeah.
Nope, you'll have to buy the album to know.
Yeah.
And for anybody who's ever said, fuck the people in a Godzilla movie, like, all I need are monsters, this movie is really for you. The people get subjugated to, I mean, there's a story there. There's a woman looking to connect with her adopted daughter. There's a man, I guess, I don't know, trying to prove how manly he is by doing manly things. I don't know that he necessarily overcomes anything. But there are people in it, but they are relegated to the smallest proportion of human story that they could put in there.
Well,
and
people
still
just get in the way of monsters fucking shit up.
Yeah. And like I said, you know, I was more invested in Kong's story anyway. You know, him finding his people and being triumphant in the end. Not only finding people that he can live with and share his life with, but actually being a leader amongst those giant apes.
Going down the stairs. It's smoke.
I always think of this scene every time I hear this song.
Is this the pot smoking episode?
Yes. Every time I hear this, I'd rather hear Homer sing this verse.
It burned down the candy house. It died within a month's town.
This is definitely a classic moment.
Hungry for a candy bar. I think I'll eat a mouse.
And one of the best, like, made-up Homer lyrics, which I don't know if you've ever, like, Dan Castanella has talked about this before. They don't write lyrics for him.
They just let him do his thing.
They literally just said, go sing Smoke on the Water, and he sang as much of it as he knew and made up the rest. And he's done that with other songs, too.
But that's what Homer would do.
Yes, it's perfect. Yeah. Funniest moment, though, is still to me is get to the working overtime part. When BTO plays Springfield, he not only yells at them to play working for the, what is it called? Working for the weekend? Isn't that what it's called?
Taking care of business.
Taking care of business. Yeah, thank you. I was getting confused with the Lover Boy.
Hey, around here, we're taking care of business because we're working for the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they had already played Taking Care of Business, and he's like, play Taking Care of Business. He's like, we already played it. Play it again. And they're like, all right. And they start going into it, and he's like, get to the working overtime part. And they're like, look at each other, and like, all right. They go straight to the working overtime.
Let's see.
We're going to play all your old favorites. But first, we'd like to dip into our new CD.
Taking care of business.
Don't worry, sir. We'll get to that
No
one.
talking. No new crap. Taking care of business now.
No, that's what it was.
Get to the working overtime part.
Unbelievable.
Work out.
Homer's just jamming now. But I feel this pain, especially when you see the band now and that, you know, we saw when we were younger. No new crap. No. Like, I remember I saw Marilyn Manson in like 2009. He's like, here's some, no. Beautiful people. Lunchbox, let's go. It's 2009. This ain't 10 years ago.
I was listening to Ice Cream Social, which is a podcast based in Vegas. And two of the guys are Vegas entertainment, like a magician and well, they're both improvisers. One of them's kind of a magician. But anyway, they were talking about all the shows that they've seen where the acts like open, middle, and close with the same song.
Oh, Limp Bizkit did it the other day. It was
Oh, yeah?
It was a viral. Yeah, I forget I think it was one of their hits, but yeah, they opened and closed.
Yeah.
And to me, that's a David Spade joke.
Yeah, right.
From Saturday, when he used to do, I forget what it was. He's like, it's 1995. You better open and close. Oh, it was Big Country. He's like, you better open and close with Big Country.
Big Country from the album Big Country.
Yeah. Or something, or Flock of Seagulls, or something like that. You better open and close with it's like your big hit.
Yeah. Well, we should close it there. We don't have a big hit to go out on.
Nope. We're just gonna. Wow. We're getting close to 10 years of this nonsense.
Are we? I thought we were coming up on that.
It's in a couple weeks. But until then, at the Weisman 420 on social media, go to ChristopherMedia.net to get the show just straight injected into your veins while you're there. If you want to throw us a couple bucks, we'd appreciate that too. And wherever you listen to us, if you have the ability to rate and review us, we'd also appreciate that because it helps other people find the show. Please and thank you.
Yeah, and help us if share the fact that we have 10 years worth of regular podcasts in a single feed, because there's a lot of binge listeners out there that would eat that up.
And you can get them all at ChristopherMedia.net in the iTunes
all
feed.
Free.
Yeah, and in your podcatcher, you can only get, the way technology is, you can only get 300. Because if we try to give you the rest of them, it fucks everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I learned a few years ago we got to limit everyone to 300 or it just...
All right, so there's 300 episodes.
Well, if you use a podcatcher, if you go to ChristopherMedia.net, you get
all on there.
The whole shebang-a-bang. It's there. So anyway, so appreciate you listening and stay high.
Stay high.
The Weedsman Podcast.
ChristopherMedia.net.